The Russian internet is weird. Up until recently, Russian was the second most spoken language online. That means there's a lot of people. A lot of people means that there are some extremely strange stories that have happened, leading to a dark culture that is currently taking over the Russian internet. I had my special correspondent Connell dive deep into the Russian internet to figure out what really is going on here. And it was even weirder than I could have possibly imagined.
Russia has been on the internet for a long time. Until recently, it was the second most spoken language on the internet. So it's had a long time to develop its own kind of culture. That culture is known for being, one, incredibly weird, and two, incredibly toxic.
Very strange. I'm very interested.
For the toxic element, Russians rank third in the world for internet incivility, which is kind of an odd survey, but the whole thing's very volatile, basically, to say the least.
Yeah.
Russia, they're basically like getting into a lot the arguments in comment sections.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. They're just like antisocial behaviors on the internet. Dude, Peru number one? That's crazy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Peru has an 81%, Colombia 80%. British online users are the most civil, according to this article.
You have kind of people, like government and people being crazy, so it kind of results in channels like this. Moriarty.
Isn't that the villain in Sherlock?
Yes, yeah, it's like the main villain in Sherlock. I think that's like a play on that. He's like the main villain against the government, because supposedly this is ran by an anonymous dark web drug lord, who's the head of the Russian cartel.
What?
And this is one of the biggest channels in Russia at the moment too.
This is the one of the biggest YouTubers in Russia is the head of a dark web cartel.
Yeah. Afraid so. He's only been around like what? A year, 2 years? Yeah.
Oh my God. 2 years? He's had an insane blow up. He's got 3 million subscribers in 2 years, dude. I think I just want to click on one of these videos and see like what's going on in it, because he's posting some long stuff. He's got like an hour-long video.
Well, he's kind of like calling people out. He's kind of, I mean, you can take a look first, and then I guess we'll get into it a little bit.
Let's see. His most recent video translates to "I created a cure for cancer." That's the title. This is crazy, dude. Obviously, I can't understand anything of what he's saying, but just the way his voice sounds certainly is intimidating.
Yeah, well, so let me fill you in for a little bit what he's talking about. He's he's kind of known for calling like the police out and like giving the ins and outs of how the drug world operates, and he's actually directly called out Russian politicians.
Really?
So this YouTuber is kind of like, it's kind of crazy that they're using YouTube to do that. But the main purpose of the channel is actually not to call people out. It's to kind of indirectly promote his black market called Kraken.
It's a whole advertising thing for like a Silk Road thing.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not, you can't directly say, check out my drug channel, guys, you can get meth on a 2-for-1 deal. But he's just kind of like being a cool figure, you know, like an Andrew Tate kind of figure. Like he doesn't directly say buy my stuff, but he kind of makes himself appear cool, and then people kind of check out his stuff that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think that he actually is a powerful Russian drug lord?
It appears so. Even if he isn't a person, the Kraken black market is a real thing.
Yeah.
And there are like there are incidents of people of them promoting the Kraken black market in Russia. If you want to check him out,
dude, he's shooting in like ultra widescreen, like it's super cinematic. The audio is like perfect. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it feels like Russian Hollywood in a way, but it's run by a crime family, which is extremely interesting. The title of his most viewed videos is "I Teach You to Breathe: Success, Power, Strength, Change Your Life Forever, Moriarty." He's got cameras on the ISS capturing the outer space shots of the globe, dude. He literally is he's drug lord Gandalf, dude.
He's going on a quest right now.
No, this is actually Batman Begins. What?
Yeah, I've been looking for a guru, and this guy, a drug lord, sitting on a rock, telling me, I don't know, spiritual advice, what I need.
Yeah. All I'll say, if this isn't a hired actor, he is so lucky that he has such a sultry, powerful voice.
Yeah, I thought it was a thing, like a changer, voice changer.
Oh, you think? Oh, yeah, probably.
I never get anybody as this sexy of a voice, to be quite
Dude,
honest with
I don't know.
Сосредоточьтесь на своем дыхании.
I'm just blown away by the cinematography and then the cuts between like this weird stock footage of Da Vinci drawings or whatever. Dude,
It's crazy.
he's a content mogul and he's a drug lord. I don't know. People say that they don't have enough time to be successful, but look at this guy.
I suppose the cinematography, the purpose of it is to kind of like, if you're associated with drugs, you kind of already have like a bad image. So if you look really professional and your cinematography's on point, it kind of adds an air of respectability to what you're doing.
Is this is his like link?
Oh, there it is. Yes, yeah.
I really don't. He's got a
I checked it out. It's safe, by the way.
preview. I'll preview the channel.
Oh, he also gives advice, so that's a AI lawyer for you right there. In case you got
Dude,
any legal questions.
he's got his own AI lawyer service. Dude, this guy is based. He's got a freaking Python. This guy rules. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might be going about content completely wrong after looking at this. This guy's got it going on. Wow. Anything else to know about Mr. Moriarty here?
Well, to kind of promote his brand, he kind of, I guess the black market, you can't just pay YouTubers or these promotional videos and stuff like that. So he's kind of gone about a viral marketing campaign of putting out his black market. If you check some of these like things out, you have one where he's plastered a buzz with his logos on and a QR code, so you can access this like Silk Road website thing in Moscow.
He bought out like bus wraps and wrapped it with QR codes for his illegal crypto market. I just feel like all the stories, maybe it's just the most extreme stories make it outside of Russia, about Russia, but it feels like it's just a lawless land. It's like truly a feudal state, right? I mean, he's just being so public about it, right? I feel like if you were doing this in the U.S., you would be found by now because he's been doing it for years.
Yeah,
it's honestly kind of
maybe.
sick.
It is absolutely.
Yeah,
sick.
I don't know how
like
long did the Silk Road last before it went down. It was a good 5 years or so. I feel like.
Oh, it was a good one. I think it was at 2013. It got done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's a funny story of Silk Road, and I was like 12. I downloaded it like as a kid, tried to get on it, like 12 years old, and it wasn't the Silk Road. It was like a fake Silk Road, and it just filled my computer full of malware. And then my mom had to like take what was wrong, and she took it to like Curry's, which is in UK is like a computer shop. And the dude, when he came back on my computer, was like, "What have you been on? This computer is full of like viruses and malware."
They had the darknet markets on Google Play for a while.
Seriously, I didn't even see that. That's awesome.
Dude, they've got
What
an
a guy.
app for this thing. This is so sick. He had Moscow. He put him on Moscow's electronic billboards too.
Oh yeah, that is true. The people love him because in some of his videos, he's like giving to charity and doing stuff like community events.
Yeah.
He kind of calls it corruption. He's kind of just like a Robin Hood figure. People love him for it.
Yeah. It's so interesting. He's darknet Robin Hood. Well, fascinating.
Yeah, well, you've got kind of big deal guys, and this is just scratching the surface of like the Russian internet. This is just there for you to see.
Yeah.
There's obviously when you dig a little deeper and just go on like the more, shall we say, like back end websites or like the websites where some interesting characters dwell, you know. So you've got weirder places in the internet, especially 4chan. I'm sure everybody's heard of some weird 4chan stories. It's the same in Russia, and you have 2chan basically. That's what it's called.
Yep.
Russian 4chan. A lot of fandoms, obviously, on 2chan, and there's one for Chippendale, if you're not familiar, that old cartoon, Disney cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started off as a normal fandom for Chippendale. However, their love for one particular character of the show, Gadget, they kind of developed more than a fandom. They developed a kind of religion, a cult for Gadget and Chippendale. They have their own sacred text, and it's called the Sacred Nut Writings. It's not a double entendre. It's not.
Okay,
it's
not. It's
sexual.
not. Okay, it's just because she's a chipmunk and chipmunks like nuts.
They love nuts. She
Nothing
loves
more.
nuts,
Nothing
okay?
more than that. Nothing more sinister.
Well, we could go with some of the pillars of the religion. You know,
Yeah.
in Islam, you have the pillars of Islam. Here, you have the pillars of Gadgetology. That's the name of the religion, by the way. Gadgetology.
Okay. She is the divine being, the most untouched and perfect sibling of the great God on earth. Why I love her? It's stupid question. How I can't love the goddess? What? I guess these are literal translations from Russian,
They're
right?
kind of translated, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
She is strict, cute, optimistic, and her level of technical knowledge is unachievable for a mortal being. I guess she's the smart one from the show, right?
She like fixes problems and stuff. I don't know. So she's the perfect Russian woman, Quinn. She's smart. She's strict. She's a love of technology. There's kind of three ways you can go about the religion. There's the prayer and righteous acts, like glorifying Gadget, the goddess's name. There's progressive Gadgetology. This adds a component of self-improvement and like real world actions, like good deeds, I suppose. So you kind of try to live a life closer to how Gadget lives.
Yeah.
on the
Well,
TV
she is
show.
the divine being, right? She's the optimal.
And then the last part of the religion is kind of like eschatological, which means like the theology surrounding like the end of the world.
Okay, like the Mayan 2012.
Yeah, the Mayan 2012. Obviously, you have the second coming of Jesus.
Ragnarok.
Right? Yeah. And this one, it's basically the Christian one, but replaced with Gadget, and she comes back in the end times.
Oh, it's just a perfectly Redditified. Yeah, all right. Yeah,
That's
wow.
our lady, I suppose.
This is.
What do you think? Do you think she's the perfect woman? What do you think?
I feel like I don't know
see
enough
it?
about
You
her.
see it?
Given that she is the most untouched and perfect sibling of the great God on earth, and her optimistic and her level of technical knowledge being unachievable for a mortal being, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
That's
think?
what the evangelist said to me. That's what they told me, and that she's the best woman
Yeah.
on earth. So
How did you find out about
goddess.
this? Did they try to convert you?
Oh yeah, they did. They knocked my door and gave me a flyer, which is a thing they do, by the way. They give out flyers.
Do they actually?
Yeah, if you scroll down and click the site that shows the members' religious artifacts, you scroll down.
Also, I don't know what this is. I haven't been there. I promise. Is that?
That's like a
That's
procession?
actually there. It looks like photoshopped in.
no, that's real. I saw that. It looks like they're going on a procession, I think.
How ironic do you think this is? Like, do you think that they're being funny, or do you think that they're like they live in such a sad, desolate land that they need something to attach their identities to so badly?
I would say it's kind of mostly a shitpost. It's
Okay.
mostly a joke. But however, how deep the religion kind of goes, it does really suggest that it does have some actual adherence.
Yeah.
We kind of, I mean, it's not. We see in the modern world people go crazy over cartoon characters. Like
Yes. Oh yeah.
there's some freaks, right? So if you check out, there's a few like.
Whoa.
I think some. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Dude, Russia is such a. It's like, it looks like a regular place, but then when you look at the details, it's all a little bit weird. Like this coffee cup with this person on it. This guy's just got a flute for some reason.
So yeah, there are some weirder parts of this religion or cult, if you want to call it that. It has a concept called egregore.
Okay.
I think it's how it's pronounced. It's a like an occultic practice where it's a process of creating non-physical entities through the collective thoughts and emotions of people.
Okay. So they're manifesting things.
Exactly that. They're kind of collectively manifesting this character into real life, which I think we should all be concerned about. I think we should try.
Yeah, we do not want her. If they summon her, it's the end times, dude.
Oh yeah, it's the end. We're fucked, and we've been making fun of them on the internet. How do you think?
We
the
definitely
goddess is
need to
gonna
put a
just
stop
lift
to
the roof?
this. This is bad, dude. This is not good.
So another form of worship is image and fan art
Yep.
of Gadget.
Of course.
So that's
yeah.
done. So in magic, there's kind of a thing called correspondences. So it's the idea that things have essences and that symbols kind of are connected to their essence, like the essence of the real thing.
Okay.
So you draw a picture of like someone. It's kind of that depiction's kind of connected to the real person that you're trying to draw.
Yep.
So by kind of create really good fan art, I suppose, I'll let you choose. Imagine what kind of fan art it is. It's a magical way of kind of bringing her into our domain.
Dude, no. They're trying to manifest her into the bedroom. That's crazy. I feel like that's disrespectful. of your Lord
think?
and Savior. Yes, dude.
True.
Drawing pictures
True.
of big Jesus would not fly. Definitely not in the
Oh, yeah,
Catholic
heretic.
Church.
This-
Well, actually, maybe in the
I-
Catholic Church, but not in
I
the
was gonna
Protestant
say-
faith.
So, in the original series, Gadget is seen as a love interest, kind of the main characters, Chip
Yep.
and Dale. You'd think, like, eventually, they would kind of get together. So, a new film gets released of Chip and Dale. It's 2022, I believe, is released, a new film. In the film, Gadget officially becomes the love interest of this. If you want to click the image.
That's her man. That's her man. That's crazy.
So you could tell the fans weren't pleased that their lady was now dating a fly.
Yeah.
So people were not happy about this. So if you want to click some of the reactions
Oh,
on
dude.
on the fandom of this.
The Chip and Dale movie is basically 9/11 for /Co. Let me explain. Gadget was character that represented the awakening of an entire generation, and having her explicitly portrayed as being by a filthy insect that feeds off with its maggot vermin abomination offspring is the equivalent of BMWF spam posting on this website. It is in fact Disney's way of imprinting demoralization on an already disenfranchised millennials, and it is truly and nakedly evil. I will not give a single penny to them, and I refuse to watch this learned helplessness conditioning propaganda. Shame on Disney. Okay, so that
They
person
say
just
that
feels like
was
they got
their-
cucked. He f***ed her. He infected her womb with his orbiting, hand-rubbing insect, and you know what? She loved it. She begged for more. He literally made her a... This is the face of the man who won it all. What the... Did they not stop to consider for a second how this would affect her hordes of loyal fans? Of course not. They have no shame. They just pulled the rug out from under us.
They have like children, and they have like little fly vermin babies. They're
Really?
disgusting children. It's like they
Gadget
couldn't have
and
made
fly
a more.
babies. Dude, they're actually
yeah.
abominations. Oh my god. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is the cult of Gadget.
So that's gadgetology.
But the last one's is my favorite. It's another instance of a fandom kind of going out of control.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of didn't go the cult direction. It more went into the intelligent warfare kind of direction. It centers around a thing called a Russian visual novel called Everlasting Summer. It's just a 25-year-old man who's mysteriously transported into a summer camp called Sauvignac, which translates to owlet.
Okay.
And it's basically just he just has to navigate different relationships with like various waifu figures.
Okay.
You've seen
So
it
this
before,
this
right?
summer
Kind of.
camp is this filled with children? Like it's a kids summer camp?
No. Dear Lord. Anyways, safe to say, this quickly became a hit in Russia and developed its own fandom.
Yeah.
So running trend here, especially on 2chan. Again.
Of course.
But no Russians on the internet. This gets out of hand. Due to its rising popularity, its community becomes replete with hucksters. Fake fans. They're only there for the ulterior motives, not for the good of the community spirit, right? Just there
Yeah.
to make a quick buck. So in 2016, these hucksters, led by a guy called Alexei Markov, took over the organization of Sauvignac Fest, which is like a festival for this visual novel, to kind of like purely for that, right? It's named after the summer camp in the game, and many were not happy with this Alexei Markov taking over the reins of the festival. They felt he was charging high ticket prices. Most importantly, he was sculpting funds from body pillow auctions.
Okay.
So I guess he was overcharging the body pillows. So this quickly made Markov our villain of the story. So you might want to. It's a nice little depiction of Markov. You might want to check that out. A
This
nice
guy
face
right
to
here?
the, there you go. There he is.
Oh, that is just so incredibly racist. That is crazy.
So it's kind of two sides to this before we get into it. It's like, is Markov kind of an evil dude who's kind of messed the fan base? Or is the fan base just psychopaths, basically?
Okay.
Harass this poor man and the the goers of the festival.
Just to make sure I'm on the same page with you. Visual novel about a guy who, 25 years old, gets transported to a summer camp. It's just a story. And then the fandom develops. It becomes pretty hardcore. But then it gets infiltrated by a bunch of people looking to make a lot of money, right? Namely this guy, Alexei Markov. And he's trying to make a festival. He starts making a festival to allegedly make a bunch of money, as the fans have said, right? And he's doing
Spot
things,
on, yeah, that's...
charging high ticket prices, all that stuff. Okay, makes sense. All right.
So the kind of thing that set it all off, the Franz Ferdinand incident.
Yeah, well, the
which
World
sparked
War
the
II reference for you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
There you go. It happened when chubby guy Emil was teased by a group of cosplayers when he asked for a photo from them.
Who is chubby guy
that was the-
Emil?
It's just that this entire conflict has a bunch of characters and lore. And the chubby guy Emil is the casualty that it set it all off. That's all you need to know, I suppose.
Okay.
The chubby guy Emil. So that was the last straw. After hearing rumors about 2019 Suivanokfest, the 2chan group decided to organize a raid on the festival. Here's how some of the first raid went.
Okay.
Check it out.
Four Anons
so-
got there and blew up a bunch of loud firecrackers. During the raid, Sabata-kun pretended to be a camp staff and ordered Fistons to go back to their rooms, while other raiders were throwing around stinky roosters' heads with ammonia and leaflets. Okay. Pioneers, scared by multiple explosions, ran into their barracks. At the same time, Markov unsuccessfully tried to call the police. Sabata squad stole Fiston's anti-raid poster and left the camp with a couple graffitis. Why is this written like this? Why I don't
Because it's translated from English to Russian.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was
It's a
gonna
Russian
say,
website. Yeah.
nowadays, this raid is known as the most exemplary raid in whole lore. Okay. So it began the series of raids. This is the first raid.
They did more research on our Markov, and they found he was tax evading by a few $1,000s. So the raids were going pretty good. They're harassing Markov very nicely, and but they had to raise the stakes. So Markov is now trying to keep the next festival secret, like undercover to the raiders. But of course, with their intelligence, they find out where the raid is. And you'll see in this entire thing, they have intelligence and counterintelligence, and like it's a real war. So a team of heroes assembled, and here they are. These are our heroes for the next raid.
Wow, they look powerful.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, what do you think about him? What do you think of him?
I don't know, man. I hope to never come across these individuals in real life, though. I will say that much.
This guy in the KFC chicken bucket hat thing. That's Colonel Sanders. He's raiding name.
Okay.
So he comes into it a lot more.
This is such a weird mix of like internet cultures and like it's like Russian weebs. Like you got like the anonymous mask too. Like I just am really confused, I guess. How many festivals is this guy hosting as well? Like so these raids are happening every time that he hosts something?
Yeah. He keeps posting the festivals that they keep getting raided. But He keeps doing them.
So he keeps doing these meetups and selling tickets for them, but he's having a hard time because these people keep throwing stinky roosters' heads at all the people who come to his fandom meetups.
Absolutely. So
okay.
We actually have. Yeah. So we've got our team of heroes assembled. So we have footage of this raid actually.
Dude, they have a freaking Predator missile drone? What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What? They've got a drone dropping stinky water balloons filled with stink juice?
It's actually urine.
It's pee?
Well, I'll tell you.
Dude, these guys are... Oh my god.
That stuff they dropped on them, the balloon, it's full of urine and a chemical called ASD2F, which is a mild irritant and like reeks of rotten eggs. So they got real chemical warfare going on.
This is crazy. So what this seems like to me is a bunch of anime lovers trying to have fun and have a nice festival, and then there just is this group of angry people mad that they can't afford the tickets. Yeah, performing legitimate acts of terrorism on them.
But yeah, this is a little song they created for themselves.
They made a music video of their acts of terrorism. Dude, oh my god, this is like it's like a Call of Duty cutscene, dude. What is going on? This guy's got a sniper rifle. What?
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying about Russia. Where do they get this stuff? Like, why is it legal to buy all these weapons and stuff?
The raiders somehow find intel on Markov's address, the evil guy, the villain, and they then plant. I'll let you read it.
Okay. So they found Markov's address, and then they planted a handmade urine mine on the door of Markov's apartment. And then after its accidental activation, Markov pooped his pants and sent a statement to the police. He said, "Okay, I pooped my pants and I got had a mine of pee blown up on me. It's finally time to get the police involved."
Yeah, they've been harassed for like, I don't know, a couple of years.
Yeah,
this guy's
it's like, it's all right. Enough's enough.
Yeah. Now here's the grand twist of the whole thing.
Okay.
The Fistons, the festival goers have their own counterintelligence, Quinn, and they find out Colonel Sanders. You remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
They find his phone number.
Yeah.
And Markov calls up furious and threatens the police if he doesn't betray them.
No, he tries to get Colonel Sanders to betray his people, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then Colonel Sanders, he unfortunately surrenders and he does betray the Legion.
Wow, I can't believe that our dedicated leader, Colonel Sanders, would betray his own people like that, man.
They've memorialized their raiders.
All the people, the characters? Okay.
Yeah, and you have like traitors listed. You have
wow,
like heroes. It's quite funny.
Dude, these guys need to get a job. Like, what? It's so long. So they actually put Colonel Sanders in here even though he betrayed the raiders?
Yeah, he's kind of a divisive figure, Colonel Sanders, because he did a lot of good for the resistance, but he did betray them.
Yeah, so what happened when he betrayed them?
I think they just kind of took him in, and then he kind of said he won't do it again. I think if you scroll down to his little profile, his little bio, I think it says he's like a rogue raider now, so he's against both of them. He's against the against the Fistons, and he's against the Legion. He's against the Raiders, so he's kind of his own thing. But...
So these are people on both sides, right? These are festival goers and raiders. Oh, okay, I see. So these are the Pivo Fistons, and then these are the cosplayer. Okay, the cosplayers are just like Switzerland in this. I feel like they're just caught in the middle of the world war here. I think we're just scratching the surface on this. Like, look at all these characters. This is like a Game of Thrones level cast list. It's like this is just a fandom, but of a story, but the story of the fandom goes so much harder than the actual story of the whatever the original thing is. Yeah,
it's not really about the game anymore. It's just about their vendetta against these people.
Yeah. Wow.
So basically, to conclude, don't mess with Russian fandoms.
No, absolutely not, dude. Wow. Yeah. Okay. After researching all this, right, Connell, why is the Russian internet so weird versus other places? Actually, yeah. Let's hear it.
I would say, for the weird stuff like the cults and the kind of esoteric element, I think Russia has always kind of had an underbelly of occultic beliefs. It's kind of produced a lot of like figures from that realm, like Rasputin or Blavatsky. They're kind of like famous occult figures, and they kind of responsible for a lot of like the mysticism in the 21st century. So I think there is that. It's just in Russian culture. Another reason is that they're more isolated than us. They're not as like globalized as us. So when we see something from them, it's just more novel. It's like, it's not as weird. We just don't see it on our internet. So like, if you did a firewall with China for like 20 years and then you saw the stuff coming out of there, you'd probably think it's pretty weird because you saw that kind of thing.
It builds on itself, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. They're kind of like on their own. They're doing their own thing, and I'm sure what we do as well is kind of weird to them. But a reason, I think, a
Dude, they're
reason
not
the
ready
tox-
for the Costco guys or the Rizzler. They
Oh yeah,
definitely are not ready for
we
that.
We look so lame compared to them. We
Are
look
you
like
kidding me? Or
Costco guys.
do not call the Rizzler lame. You take that back, Connell.
I suppose for the toxic element, why they're so, why it's a conflict is so like apparent on the internet. There is I guess here the English language is like the internet language for a lot of countries, like countries outside of English speaking countries. So I think people are a little bit more mindful on the internet here because they're kind of aware there's a language barrier and that people can kind of like misinterpret things at least a little bit.
Yeah.
On Russia, everybody's speaking Russian. Everybody's basically a countryman, and you kind of you're more willing to just go tell them to f off because the playing field's pretty even.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Russian culture is more blunt too, just generally, right?
Yes, I agree with that. Yes, I think they're more just transparent with what they're saying. Russians, so I think
Yeah.
it's just an element that's their culture. Then it translates to the internet.
I appreciate you doing the research. I think one thing I want to say is if you have any weird internet stories that you want us to investigate, let us know in the comments. Connell can dig into it, and then he can just explain it to me so that I can hear about it too. But other than that, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.